Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage software. And I want to thank you for listening today. My presentation, I've entitled it, Will You Be Ready for the Big Dance? And I'm not talking about the road to the Final Four. What I'm talking about is what I see in a lot of business people today. I see a lot of downtrodden people in business that are concerned about high costs due to inflation, which even though inflation seems to be abating somewhat and going down, the prices still seem to stick there and the cost of things. We still have fairly high interest rates, and employee performance, they're being challenged too with their home budgets and things, and they're stressed about a lot of things. So I see a lot of concern about that. The thing is that what I also see with business people in agriculture and other fields too, when the margins get tighter, I see them head for cost cutting. And the reality is you cannot save your way to prosperity with just cost cutting. In effect, we should only be cutting items that don't impact the performance of our business. So I would caution you by telling you this story. In 2009, it was a horrible year for the dairy industry, one of the worst ever. In terms of profitability. Milk prices were down. Producers started cutting feed costs, cutting back on it, thinking I can save my way to prosperity. Well, in reality, short term, it was okay. It worked all right margin wise. But in the long term, the results were pretty bleak. It took a year probably to get their productivity of their operation back on track. And so it was a short-term gain, but there was some long-term pain, and people took a long time to recover from that. So when we see times like this, with higher inflation, higher interest rates, and low profits, I would caution you to only cut those areas or those expenses that don't directly impact your productivity of your business. I'm going to tell you a story about a motivational speaker, Les Brown. He tells the story of when he wanted to be a DJ, a disc jockey in Miami, and his personal advisor suggested, Les, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. Be prepared. He said, but I don't have a job as a disc jockey. But his advisor, again, his friend and advisor said, you have to prepare like you do. He was advised that even after multiple rejections, you've got to be better. It's better to be prepared and not have this job than to meet up with your opportunity to have it and not be prepared. And I think that's good advice for all of us. So prepare always like you do. We may not have the profits, the success that we're looking for right at the moment, but you know what? It'll change over time. My point is this. You have to be prepared. Tough times do not last forever. Inflation, high interest rates will not last forever. These tough times and tough challenges will not last forever, but tough people do, and you need to be one of them. So watch your costs, change whatever you can, but just be cautious not to stifle your productivity of your operation. And I will tell you this, if you do that, follow it closely, monitor your costs, not necessarily just cost cutting, but monitoring them, you'll be ready for the big dance when it arrives. And as Les Brown so accurately stated, and I quote, you gotta be hungry. End of quote. I want to thank you for listening today. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. Thank you very much.